Hello friends, welcome back to my channel SyntaxAdda. My name is Ravi Ranjan and this is the continuation of the course on JPA and Hibernate. So in this video, we are going to learn about how we can set up MySQL database. So generally, if you want to set up your MySQL database, we need two things. Okay, so one is your MySQL server, and then we need MySQL workbench. Why we need these two? Okay, so when we am talking about setting the database, right? So in general term, if you see, there is some server, let's say, right? So if you want to create some database, right? So what you will do first, you will create, first you will log into that server, and then you will create the database, right? And then on that database, you are going to create the tables, right? In case we are going to set up this MySQL, we will have the two basic components, that is MySQL server and MySQL workbench. Okay, so this MySQL server will be the main engine for your database, and it will store, data for your database. Okay, so second thing, it will store the data for the database. Okay, and then it will also support CRUD operation, right? Or any other operations apart from that, right? We can also do some administrative task and all we can do, right, with that table or database. So that's all we that's the purpose of downloading this MySQL. So this MySQL server, if you see, this is my computer, right? On top of my computer, I am downloading this MySQL server, right? So this computer is nothing but my local, right? Local machine where this server will be installed, right? And then now we'll have the server. Now how we'll connect with that server, right? So for connecting to this MySQL server, we have one GUI tool, that is graphical user interface tool, which is very user friendly, right? That is MySQL workbench. So we can use MySQL workbench. This is nothing but your client. You can say this is the client for interacting with MySQL server. Okay, so both are on the, if you'll see, both are on the local host itself. So we are going to install these two so that we will have the MySQL server in place, right? And then we'll have the default connections here, right? Then we'll have the MySQL workbench. In that MySQL workbench, we will be able to see that default connection. We'll log in, then we'll create a new connection. Connection means we are going to create one user, let's say, right? We'll create one new user, right? Once we log into this server, or once the connection is created or user is created, then we'll create the database, right? And the table on this server. So here workbench is the client. So you understood? So when we are saying we will set up MySQL database, so it will have two components, that is MySQL server and MySQL workbench. So let's see how we can download these two components for setting up our MySQL database, right? And then we'll proceed further. Go to Google Chrome and type in dev.mysql.com / you can say downloads, right? And then we'll say MySQL. So here, this is the community server. Okay, so that's what we are going to download. So there are two ways to install the MySQL server. Either you can go with the installer itself, based on your operating system. You can choose the appropriate version from here, or based on the whether it's a 64-bit or 32-bit, right? All those things you can just consider, and then you can download this. Since I have already downloaded it, I'll show you how it looks. Next, we'll download the workbench. So same way, what I can do, dev.mysql.com /downloads / we can type in workbench. Okay, so you can go with the installer if you want, right? Or you can go with the archive, whichever you want. Since I have already downloaded it, so I will not download it again. We'll show you how it looks when it's get downloaded and what next steps we need to follow. So if you see here, I have downloaded both. This is nothing but my MySQL server, and this is my workbench. So both I have created. So first, before installing, workbench, what you can do, you can go and configure the connection, right? So we have the server in place now. So since I have downloaded the archived, so I just need to simply, unzip. Now, first what you need to do, once you have extracted this or once you have unzipped this, what you can do, you can go to bin, right? And you need to configure your first, connection so that you can connect to the MySQL server. So you can just double click and just click next, and then you can just set the password for your, connection. Okay. So this will be your default connection, which we are going to, uh, you know, which we will create. Okay. And once that is done, what you can do, you can install this workbench, right? So installation is very easy. You need to just double click and then click next, 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 and it will get installed. So let's see how it looks when it gets installed. So once your MySQL workbench is installed, so it will be installed in your program files. MySQL, you will see lot of files are here, right? You will see here workbench exe, that is the file. So once you'll right click, and you can also create the shortcut. If you don't want to remember this path, you can just right click on this shortcut, right click on this and create one shortcut. Just go to send to and just create a desktop shortcut. Here you will be able to see MySQL workbench. Just double click and you will be able to see one default connections which you will be configuring. Okay, so usually it will be with the user root, and you can give any password you want. Okay, so this is all about your how we can set up the MySQL database. Okay, so what you can do, just click on this and give the password whatever you have set. I have set it to admin. I'm clicking OK. Once you launch, you will be able to see this, the basic window which will open. This is the query area where you will be writing your all query, and this is your schema, right? So database schema you will be able to see here. Here you can see the all administration related task. You can client connections, user privileges and all you can see here. Okay, so what we'll do here, we'll create a new connection here. So I told you, right, once we'll set up the workbench with a default connection, we don't want to go with the default connection. We'll create one new connection. Okay, so we'll go and we'll create a new connection, right? And then we'll connect to the SQL server with that connection, new connection, and then we'll create our database and tables. Okay, so that's what we are going to do here. So how we can create a any user connection. I'm going to create a user connection. So what you can write, you can write one query here simply, right? So we'll write drop user if exist, right? And well, so I want to create a user, let's say dev user, right? Since our development project, so I'm going to create one dev user on local host, because our server on this server. Okay, so first what I'm checking, always this is the best practice to create any new connection to the database. First check whether that user is already existing on that server or what, right? So if it is existing, you simply drop it. Okay, so we'll first we'll drop this dev user if it is existing. Okay, and then we'll create a dev user on the MySQL server with some password. So how we can do that? Let's see. So we can write create user, give the name the same way, dev user @ let's say localhost, my bad, localhost. So I'm going to create this user, dev user or connection user, we can say. Okay, so this we are creating connection user. Okay, so we'll say create dev user @ localhost, and we are going to set a password. So identified by, and set the password. I'm going to set the password as dev. Okay, so this will be my password. Okay, and next, once this is created, I will grant all the privilege to this user. So I will say grant all privileges, right, on. So I want to provide all privileges for the typing. So star.star, right, to, I'll say dev user delete localhost. Okay, so this way we are going to create a connection user. So let's run this. So what you can do, just select all, and here is this icon for execute. Just execute this. So you can see here, right? So it has created the user, right, connection user, that is dev user on MySQL server, and it has also provided all the privileges. So how we can verify this? So what you can do, you can go here to this user and privileges. You can see here dev user is created, right? So this will be my connection user, right? Root was my default connection user. So I don't want to work with that root, default connection user. So I created dev user as a connection user, right? So now log in with this connection. So we'll close this. Now here you will see MySQL connection. Here you will see the plus sign, right? Just click on this, and here you give the name of your connection. So it's a connection name, right? This is user connection name. So I'm trying to, we are login to the MySQL server, right? So we'll type dev user, dev underscore user. A username I need to give dev user, right? And then test connection for dev user. What's the password? Dev I kept. So it is saying, so this is the warning you can ignore. So what we have done here, this server is most recent. It's like 8.3 version, but my workbench is 8.0. So that's why it's throwing this warning. But for the time being, you can ignore. This is not going to cause any issue. If you if you want to, if you don't want to get this warning, so you can go with the lower version of MySQL workbench. Okay, so just continue anyway. So this is showing what all informations are there. This is nothing but your local host. Okay, this will be the local host, then port, and then dev user. Okay, click OK. And now we are able to see we have the new connection we will be able to log in with. Okay, so this is my new dev user connection, right? And we logged into the MySQL server. Right now, if you go to schema, you will be able to see that is the sys, which is the default schema. But I don't want to, go with this database. I want to create a new database. Okay. So again, you can go with the same similar query, create database if not exists. So this is the query we need to write, right? And we'll create database with a name, let's say dev. Okay, so here no need to give the single quotation. Let's create this and see. So it has created a database now. So you can just verify this one. Okay, you can just refresh it, and we'll be able to see the database schema with the name dev. Okay, now what we need to do, we'll use this database since we have two database here. One is sys, one is dev. So right now, if you see here, we don't have anything, right? We don't have anything. We don't have any tables or anything, right? So what we are going to do, we are going to use this dev database, and we will create one employee table. Okay. So we'll we'll write dev. Okay. So now it will just make sure that I am using the dev database. Now you create one table. So we'll create one table. Okay. That is an employee table. So this is the very first table which we are going to create. Okay. So we'll type create table employee. Okay. So, and we'll have the different fields here, right? So what we can have employee ID. So we'll type employee ID. Okay, it should not be null. So not null, and it should have some type. So let's say int null So it's not null, and we'll give some, this employee ID should be generated, right? So we'll give this auto increment. Okay. The next, we'll type employee first name. Okay. And this will be of type varchar, and we'll see, we'll give the size as 50. Let's say, right? And if there is no, employee first name available, so we'll say it's a default value as null. So default null. Same way, we'll create employee last name varchar 50, right? I'll say default null. Okay. Email, let's see varchar 50, right? So email we are going, and default value will be null. That's fine. And I'll say this ID, employee ID will be the primary key, right? So we have to define that also. So we'll say primary key. What will be the primary key? Primary key will be my imp ID. So this is the complete, query. So we are going to create this table, employee ID, which will not be null. It will not accept the null value, and it will auto increment. Okay. Then we'll have the employee first name with default value as null, and size will be 50. Last name with the varchar 50, default value null. Email, then we'll have the default as null, and the primary key will be this one. So select this one and then execute this. So if you'll see, this is successful. It has created the table. Now refresh this one, and you will be able to see a employee table. So this is the employee table. You will be able to see it here, right? So if you'll just see here, just right click on this table to write, this will give you the default query. Select star from dev.employee. So right now we don't have any value, so that's why it's all are none. So we don't have any entry at all. So that's all for this video. So we saw how we set up the database, MySQL database. For MySQL database, we needed two components, that is MySQL server and MySQL workbench. Why? Because MySQL server, anyway, we are going to install it, right? The server will configure with the default connection. Now, with that default connection, we have to anyway log into the, or we need to connect to the database server so that we can create a database and do, database related work. So we had the default connection. So for that, we needed some GUI, right? GUI tool, that is the MySQL workbench. We launched this MySQL workbench, and then we logged in with the default connection, that is root. That is the root connection user, we can say, right? And then we created a new connection with the name dev user, right? And then we created a database, new database schema with the name dev, and we created a table called employee, right? So hope you understood this part. We'll see what to do with this data after that. What we need to do after this, we'll see this in the next video. If you like my video, please share it with your friends, and also don't forget to click on bell icon for any further notification. Thank you so much.